that you say I'll do. Come on. I look so cute. Look at me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're to my channel, you know who I am. Hi, my name is Milani. Welcome to my channel. So, hey guys, I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Let me put some chapstick on because, bruh, my lips. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Pinche. Okay, there you go. So from the title of this video, story time. Story motherfucking time. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are staying safe. And yeah, story time. Story time. So in my Goodwill haul, I said that I was gonna do a story time. So here is the tea. So it actually got requested to me on my social media accounts. If you don't follow me, they're down below. To do the story time. So that there was some confusionness about, like, when I said I used to, you know, that was my first job during COVID. So let me tell you. So I was a stay-at-home mom before COVID. And unfortunately, because of COVID, Matthew lost his job. He was laid off because he was in the oil field. And so yeah, so I told Matthew, like, look, baby, go to school, better yourself, go to school for an EMT, and I'll work full time. I was like, it's fine. So I got hired on at Goodwill. So the hiring process, like, I remember I put it in my application and I got called from corporate, or not corporate, but from, like, the location, like, the San Antonio Goodwill. So just a quick disclaimer, I'm not bashing the company. I'm not bashing the company. I'm not. Maybe Goodwill is a good place to work for or work at, but unfortunately my experience wasn't good. I think it was the manager, because I'll tell you why. But I got hired on, or no, I had an over the phone interview, and then I went to, like, a different location and they did the interview. So anyways, so did the interview. They told me, what was gonna happen, and I'm like, okay, cool beans. I was like, I shop at Goodwill, cool beans, cool. So they're like, somebody will call you. So I got a call, started working like a couple days after, right? So when I first showed up, they told me to show up at this time, and I showed up, and I'm like, hi, I'm Melina, I'm the new girl, and they're like, okay, cool. Your store manager, she's in the back. She was in the back, and she gave me a locker. It was cool and dandy, and she, was telling me, she's like, look, you're gonna be a cashier. You're gonna be the only cashier, because we're short staffed. Nobody wants to work. People are working from home. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, yeah, it's fine. And, I was a cashier, and I was an assistant store manager at a different, store. She's like, oh, an assistant store manager? Like, how come you didn't, want to be an assistant store manager for Goodwill? I was like, no. I was like, I just want a job so I can get extra money and, whatever. So anyways, while she's, like, showing me the store, she's like, are you familiar with Goodwill? I was like, yeah, I shop at Goodwill. And she's like, oh, well, just a little disclaimer. She's like, you can't shop where you work. I'm like, huh? She's like, you can't shop at this location. You're gonna have to go to a different location to shop. I was like, okay. She's like, yeah, we try to make it fair for, like, our customers and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay, I understand. I was like, but deep down inside, I was like, son of a bitch. So anyway, so how I did it is, whenever I would see something and Matthew wasn't, going to school, like, like, busy with his schoolwork or whatever, I would text him like, hey babe, can you come to the store? This is what I want. And I would give him, money and yada yada yada. So anyways, so being the only cashier got overwhelming. People were kind of rude. A lot of resellers would show up early in the morning, like, literally right before the store would open. They would just, like, peek through to see what they can see what could they see through the windows. And yeah, I actually got assaulted one time, and my manager didn't do jack shit about it. So we got tags, right? This is, pretend this is a tag, right? And this is a tag, right? So the tag, in the middle of the tag, it's like where you can rip it. So both, like the bottom part, the top part and the bottom part, they have the same numbers and the same, you know, the same numbers and the same price, right? So what you do is just you rip off the bottom part and you give that part to the cashier, and they'll staple it to your receipt. And if it's like a big like furniture, you can pick it up later, or they'll tell you, hey, do you have, you know, do you want to pick it up right now? And you say yeah, they'll tell you where to drive up, yada 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 yada. So it was my first week. I was just thrown into the fire. They're like, here, girl, here. That's what they did. I'm like, okay, I mean, shouldn't be that hard. So this guy comes in and he's shopping around. I'm okay, cool. And then this lady, she brings in like this like metal, like it looked like an outside like stove heater thing. It was nice. It was heavy. I scanned it and I was like, bye, have a nice day. And then maybe like 30 minutes later, the guy that walked in that I was talking about before, he throws me the tag. He's like, here. I'm like, oh, I looked at the tag. And he's like, where's the stove that was right here? I was like, oh, I was like, somebody bought it. And he's like, well, you see the numbers here? If the item was right here, you would see that it's the same numbers. I'm like, sorry, sir. I'm like, I apologize. Like, look, sorry, sir. It's my first week. I didn't know. And he's like, then what's the point of me having this part? You know, y'all are supposed, this is supposed to, like, you know. I was like, I'm sorry, sir. Like, I kept apologizing, and he was just like, how I'm acting, that's how he's like, what's the point of this? You know, I had this. You should have never sold it. I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I apologize. I was like, you know, I'm sorry. And he threw it at me. He's like, here. I was like, sir, you're not going to throw stuff at me. And I actually got like, I started like getting scared. I was like, you know, and he walked away. He's like, you know, you're not doing your job. Da, da, da. And he called me a bitch right before he left. And I was shooken the fuck up. I told my managers, they didn't do jack shit about it. I'm like, y'all can look in the cameras. I don't remember what time, you know, because a girl, I've done a lot my previous jobs, right? I was like, you know, I'm very observant, you know, all this stuff. Because I used to be a dispatcher. Like, I'm very observant. I can tell you what time, what he was wearing, da 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 da. They didn't do jack shit. They're like, you know, they're like, well, next time he comes in the store, Melina, just let us know and we'll handle him. And he was a frequent customer. I was like, I knew who this guy was. Like, after that happened, I was like, I knew who this guy was. So I would see him and I would tell my managers, they're like, oh, okay, we'll handle it. I'm like, I was shook in the fuck up. I had to tell like somebody else, I'm like, look, can y'all take care of the register, because I can't handle this guy. Like, I had really PTSD. Just that just scared me. Like, it was just bad. I always got hit on, and that's what made me mad, because like, I was like the youngest person there, and I would get hit on, and it just made me feel so uncomfortable. This one guy was like, so he was taking out his money and he was buying some clothes or whatever, and he's like, so do you take, and I was with one of my coworkers, and she was an older lady. She heard the conversation. She was there. She was my witness. So the guy's like taking out his money. He's like, so do you take $100 bills? I was like, yeah, we do take $100 bills. He's like, no, do you take $100 bill? And I'm like, excuse me? And he's like, you know, like, do you take $100 bill? Like, what time do you get off? I'm like, I was like, Maria, can you handle? Yeah, it was bad. Like, I felt so uncomfortable. And yeah, like what got me really was whenever we had like a homeless guy, right? And they didn't like care about him. They just like actually kicked him out. I'm like, he's here, you can tell he needs help. Like, his shoes were fucked up, and he actually just stole a whole bunch of stuff and walked out. Like, you go, buddy, you go do you, boo-boo. You know, like, y'all get this stuff for free. Like, why are y'all being bitches about it? Like, you know, you get this stuff free for from the community. You should help your community out. And it was just some stuff, some shady stuff. And I can go on. One thing that like never sit right with me was when stuff like clothes didn't sell within a month. We would like take them off the the rack and how we knew that they've been sitting there for a month is because the tags, they have the date, right, when we put it out or whenever we label it. And if it's been sitting there for longer than a month, we would take it off the shelf, or take it off the the shelf, because we do that with shoes too, the shelves and the racks. Anyway, so they would like put that stuff, like bulk it up, and they would sell it to other sellers. I'm like, so no matter what, Goodwill was always making money, no matter what. And what, like, sometimes would like irritate me, it still does. I'm like, y'all get this stuff for, I understand it's a business, it's supposedly a non-profit organization, but why do y'all sell stuff so expensive that it's not even funny? I'm like, y'all get this shit for free. I understand you gotta pay your employees, but even the employees don't make that much. I didn't make that much. And even with, like, I had really bad anxiety working there, especially because COVID, was still going on and everything. And we didn't get, like, no, like, bonuses or whatever working there. And the reason why I left was because my manager was, like, a bitch. Like, she would, like, change my schedule. Like, originally when I was hired on, I was supposed to work from 9 to 7. I was like, cool, I get to work out and stuff like that. But sometimes they would have, I need to redo my hair. Sometimes they would have, like, people come in, like, at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock to, like, clean up the store and everything, right? So she would schedule me. I was like, man, no, ma'am. You told me from the get-go I work from 9 to 7. I have to go running. I go running at 6 o'clock in the morning for my mental health. And she's like, okay, cool, whatever. She gave me an attitude. She didn't like that. I was like, I'm not, like, because of Goodwill, like, my hair, I actually became more, I learned how to stand up for myself, because I was, like, always timid. And I think because of my weight loss, I was like, nobody messes with me, bitch. But what was my breaking point is, what's it called? Not my breaking point, but, like, before my breaking point, Zachary, he had speech sometimes. Like, we would have, like, appointments, right? And sometimes they would, like, want to, not speech, but, like, he was trying to get, like, evaluated to figure out what's wrong with him, figure out, like, what's, like, what's wrong with him, like, where he's at. And so we would have, like, would have appointments, like, through, what was it, Skype? Not Skype. Zoom. And they would sometimes be like, okay, Mrs. Corin, we'll see you in 2 weeks, but you have to be here with, your husband. And I was like, okay, cool. But my manager would sometimes make the schedule a week in advance. So I remember she told me, she's like, look, if you want days off, write it on the sticky note what days you need off or what day you need off, and put it, in my office. I was like, okay, cool. So I did that. And I actually gave it to another manager. I was like, look, this is the day that I need off. My son has an appointment. He's okay, put it right there. And I did. And then the week that, the day I needed off, I saw my schedule. I was like, ma'am, I requested that day off. She's like, no, you didn't. I was like, there's a sticky note. And she's like, well, I can't see it because there's, She's like, you can remember because Matthew from time to time will need, he would have to, like, go to school to try to, like, do, like clinicals or whatever, do test taking, go to the actual, like, facility building, and I would request it off. And she's like, so you can so this is what she said, like, blah, blah, blah. She's like, my manager said, she's like, so you can remember your husband's appointments but not your autistic son's appointments. I'm like, wow. I even told her, I was like, look, ma'am, what I do, or what I do and what I don't do is none of your business. I was like, I requested this day off 2 weeks in advance. I was like, I'm sorry that you couldn't see it, but I gave it to so-and-so, the other manager. And it's not my problem that he didn't tell you, he didn't communicate with you, telling you, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm busy. I'm the only cashier at the store, and I do more than just cashiering. I help out, our coworker. I forgot what the fuck I said, but I went off. And what my breaking point was, whenever I needed time off, because unfortunately Matthew's grandparents got COVID, and I needed some time off to, because I just need time off. I was just, like, overwhelmed, and she told me no, and I was like, you know what, thank you for everything. And I even wrote a letter, like, thank you for everything, I greatly appreciate you giving me this opportunity, but no. I can't do this anymore. I was like, you know, I get assaulted, I get verbally abused by customers, and y'all don't do jack shit about it. I got offered money from a creeper. I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I quit. And I feel bad. Like, I felt bad. Like, I got close with some of the people there, but thankfully, I still shop at that Goodwill. Last time I went was like a month, 2 months ago. And I saw one of my old coworkers. She was like, girl, so-and-so is not here, that manager. And she's like, it's a lot better. It's a lot calmer and all this stuff. I was like, cool. From time to when I was working at that Goodwill, from time to time, I would get people that worked at that location, and they would like dead on tell me the reason why I quit is because of so-and-so. She's a bitch. And I'm like, bro, I can tell. I only worked there for like about a month. I was like, I don't need this job that bad. And then literally God doesn't close one door without opening another one. Literally that same week when I quit, I got a call for Spirit Halloween. And yeah, that's the tea. That's pretty much the tea. Like, what pissed me off too was like, one, you can't shop where you work at. Two, they didn't clean off, they didn't check like if like an appliance or whatever worked. They just like dusted it off, not even dusted it off sometimes, and just like put the tag and just like put it on the floor. That's pretty much it. That's it. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I got things to do, and I might go to Goodwill. But yeah, guys, I mean, I'm not bashing the company itself. I'm just telling you my experience. I'm not gonna tell you the location, but my experience working at Goodwill. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below what you want to watch. Remember that I love you. You're a bad bitch. Don't let nobody motherfucking put you down. And yeah.